Hello, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Marcus, or Marcus.
Yes, it is me. I have to turn up my headphone volume a little bit. Um, this is Smackdown.
Smackdown.
Oh, my light's not on.
Oh no.
Second night in a row, I forgot about that. Um, not the best Smackdown.
I'm just, I'm just a little tired of the women's match issue that we seem to be running into
Yeah,
time and time again.
yeah.
Despite the fact that people have been calling them out on it, and they still are just kind of like flagrantly like, we don't fucking care.
Also, I just want to say thank you, Half Aches, for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. Not only are the matches incredibly short, but they all have been suffering from really bad booking because why did Liv Morgan eat a loss from Zelina Vega, who had her first win in over a year? Like, Zelina has been the bottom. The bottom, the bottom, the bottom. And you have, like, I get it was like a distraction. I get that. But still, she is on your pay-per-view card. Why have her lose?
I feel like they do that because they're like, oh, well, it's going to be so shocking when she wins. It's like, well,
But it won't be though. It won't be. Like we know what the outcome's gonna be because they're just gonna be that predictable. I don't know.
I don't either. I
Um,
don't either.
but this SmackDown had no real surprises. We got a couple teases for the draft. It looks like maybe Shinsuke and Rick Boogs could be going to the draft, or could be going to Raw in the draft. They both wore all red gear. And Roman has been sporting a red arm brace. I don't know if that means anything. That's probably the one I'm most uh uh what's the word? The most unsure of. So I'm not gonna.
I think that's a red herring, for lack of a
Yeah,
better word.
yeah. But of course, if Shinsuke moves over to Raw, that would mean Damian Priest would come over because they're not gonna have both mid card titles on the same brand. That's not gonna happen. Um, but unless Damian loses at Extreme Rules, and that champion then comes over to SmackDown, so that Damian can stay on Raw. But I doubt that because if SmackDown lost Big E, then they have no big baby face. Finn is not really the big baby face here.
Yeah.
Damian would be the big guy. Right now, Raw has both Big E and Damian, two of WWE's biggest baby faces. So, um,
Yeah. I don't know. We've gotten more teases for people going over to Raw than we have for SmackDown, though. Outside of Drew, which I think is a done deal at this point.
yeah.
And I just want everyone to know that I said that Drew was going over first, so thank you. That was me. I did that.
Seth was wearing an all red suit.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
I could see him going over. I really could.
I could see him going over, but it's also not that crazy for him to wear something that um offensive, guys.
um, it would suck if he went over to Raw just because there's so many dream matches for him on SmackDown. Like him versus Finn is probably the biggest one that I want. Um, him versus Shinsuke.
He only just got Finn.
I know.
Let's be careful.
But imagine that story though. It'll be so fun.
Yeah, we've also got the chance for
Seth versus Drew again.
that and also Seth versus Roman.
Oh yeah, we haven't gotten that yet. Um, but
Also, considering the fact that Seth was like the only one that like was talking, like not talking shit at Roman, but being like a jackass in front of Roman, and Roman was just like, "All right,
I could
I'll
also
let it happen."
I could also see Seth and Corbin being good. Now that Corbin's got the Happy Corbin thing, I could see it like the two very stark difference in personalities colliding and being pretty interesting.
I'm off on the Happy Corbin thing.
I
Not
think
so hot on that.
I think the presentation isn't great. Like his entrance isn't the best, and him being tied with
Also,
Logan
why Happy
Paul.
Corbin?
Huh?
Why Happy Corbin?
Because he said he was the happiest guy in the world, so he's gonna
It
call
doesn't
himself Happy
matter.
Corbin.
That's so stupid. That I don't care that he gave us an explanation. It was a bad explanation.
Yeah. Why not Rich Corbin?
Swanky Corbin.
Sir Corbin.
Sah.
Um, but yeah, this SmackDown didn't have a ton. It had a great main event: Roman Reigns and Montez Ford. It had 3 very short women's matches. And Shinsuke defended the Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews. That was also a short match. Selena had her first win. Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley were on SmackDown now that they are the tag team champions. Sami Zayn proving he is a better father figure than Rey Mysterio. But that's really it. Great promo from Becky and Bianca to start off. But we'll dig deeper once we get to the actual recap. I thought it was a good promo. But I think Becky's like starting to get really believable as a heel.
I guess I'm just getting more and more frustrated with the storyline as it continues.
I think both of us are also just getting more and more frustrated with WWE as a whole, so we're more pessimistic about every storyline that comes our way. What the straw that broke the camel's back for us was NXT 2.0. If they hadn't rebranded that, we would still like WWE. We would.
Well, okay, like is the wrong word to use because obviously we must like them enough to do a show for them, or about them.
Well,
for them.
we're too far in at this point. That's why we do the show. But we willingly watch and we enjoy watching WWE because we love the talent. The talent is definitely what keeps us going.
Raw still outplaced Grand Slam ratings wise. Wow.
Okay.
Somebody said brand recognition does a lot for a company.
Yeah, I could see that. But will they beat SmackDown? Most importantly, will they beat NXT 2.0?
NXT 2.0 didn't do so well this week, so
I would ask if they could beat NXT UK, but I don't think they could ever accomplish that.
The thing is that like NXT 2.0 is like the WWE as a whole has done a lot more in terms of diversity than we get on AEW right now. I think that's fair to say.
I don't think so.
At least in Dynamite, I think Dark and Dark Elevation have a pretty good span. But Dynamite isn't quite as diverse as you would get with certain WWE products, but still, it's like WWE's feeding us shit. It might be feeding us diverse shit, but it's still, it's tough.
I also think a lot of it is because WWE cycles through wrestlers and storylines very quickly, while AEW takes its time to build up their storylines and build up their cards. I don't like doing these WWE AEW comparisons just because it's not really fair.
It's apples and oranges at the end of the day. Really.
Yeah, one's a company that's been around for 40 plus years. The other one is a company that's been around for 2 years. So it's not a fair comparison, and I don't think either company would want that comparison. Because
And at the end of the day, I know that we're still watching both. So
yeah, I mean, wrestling's wrestling. I still enjoy the product WWE puts out. Raw's been getting better somehow. I think Raw has been the best WWE product this week. Okay.
based on your rankings.
Based on my rankings, which has to do with the how enjoyable the matches were. So Raw and SmackDown were tied this week. But both are above NXT.
And Slam didn't make a dent for you?
Hmm?
And Slam didn't make a dent for you?
What do you mean?
You said that Raw and SmackDown were tied.
Yeah, they're tied with each other, not for the lead, but they were just tied. Dynamite is actually no. Dynamite. What's the highest rated of the week so far is actually Impact.
Okay, that's fair.
Impact was
I thought
great.
you were saying that either Raw or SmackDown were the highest rated of the week, and I was like, I've got to take issue with that.
No.
You're off base.
I gave Impact a 6.5. Dynamite is a 6.25. And Rampage only has a 6. Yeah.
I can't quite judge that one because I had a migraine, so I kind of hated everything that was happening.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I enjoyed actually all the matches. I did a very good job of enjoying them.
The only match I didn't like was Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay.
That was the one I think that I saw. I don't know if it was just like the placement of it in the show, but it was like because it was right before the Lights Out match, and I was like, no offense, ladies. Also, it was really short.
Yeah, it was really short, and it was only meant to serve the post-match stuff. But anyway, that's...
Anyways, do we want to talk about...
Yes, let's talk about SmackDown. Stick around. After our recap and our best of the night, we'll be doing our predictions for Extreme Rules coming this Sunday. Sorry, I'm drinking beer, so I'm going to be burping a lot. Yeah, we'll be doing our predictions. I've already made my predictions. Liz, I assume you'll be doing them on the fly. So stick around for that. And, do you want to get into the news?
A lot of news. All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one piece of WWE news, or two pieces, and everything else is AEW, and then one piece is just something that I'm going to have to talk about, because I'm not going to be happy if I don't.
Okay.
Let's start with some not so great news. Superstar Billy Graham has been hospitalized for heart issues. He is 78. He's been hospitalized with heart and lung issues. Apparently, he's been diagnosed, according to PW Insider, with an irregular heartbeat, heart failure, and has fluid in his lungs.
Oh.
Yeah. He's apparently still in the hospital right now. He's getting medication to remove said fluid. Apparently they're doing their best. No one's really totally sure what the fuck is going on.
Right.
That isn't in his family, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So our best wishes to his family and to him. That sounds like it sucks.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Then if anybody ever tells you that cancel culture is a problem, I'm going to tell you right now it doesn't exist because Marty Scurll is back. Ooh, fuck. CW APR. Let me open the article instead of looking at the picture. Marty Scurll is returning to professional wrestling this October, and if you want to know the lucky promotion that has him, it's CWA of Puerto Rico. They apparently said, fuck it. They booked him for their Halloween Fan Fest event, and anyways, just a small thing. I saw it and I was like, well, I'm mad about this, and I can't be the only one that's mad. So
yeah,
I'm gonna bring it up. I'm sort of hoping it kind of gets Velveteen Dreamed.
People just don't hire him.
Well, within like 5 seconds, well, obviously not within 5 seconds because it's been over that.
Mm-hmm.
But companies like, oh shit, everyone's mad at us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll happen. But
I've also got a little bit of Adam Cole news, kind of, if there's time for it.
I think I know what you're gonna do. So wait for the WWE side of things.
Isn't it AEW?
I'll let you do it in the cusp between the two because I think I know what it is.
Okay.
All right. So some some AEW news. Let's see. So good news is Ryo Mizunami is going to be returning soon.
Wait, Ryo Mizunami? I could have sworn she just had a match in the Indies like 2 days ago.
She's returning to WWE soon.
WWE? Wait, really?
AEW. Fuck me.
I was gonna say, like, that's... Again? What?
She's alive. She's returning to the United States to wrestle for AEW. She's been gone for a while, and I know part of it's because she's been wrestling not in the USA, but also she was sick as fuck for a while. She had I think she had COVID, and she was hospitalized for it. So, she did have a match in the Indies recently, then.
Unless it was taped, which it might have been.
She'd been hospitalized about a month ago, I think. So.
Okay.
Also, AEW announced that they signed 7'3" former NWA and holy shit!
NWA, wow, great talent.
I can't talk.
NBA.
Thank you. 7'3" former NBA basketball player Satnam Singh.
What team was he on? The Clippers?
The Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks, right. I don't know why I thought Clippers.
I don't know shit about basketball. Fuck.
You want me to take over?
Got the goddamn yips.
You want me to take over?
Oh man. I've got this. No clue what their plan is for Mr. Singh, but excited to see where this goes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe Paul White has a new wrestling opponent.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know when they plan to break him out. I don't know when they plan to use him or what they plan to do, but Tony Khan is apparently psyched as fuck about this.
I can imagine.
And in addition to that, we are not going to see Brian Cage for a little bit because Mr. Brian Cage recently got surgery. Apparently his knees flared up after undergoing stem cell surgery. So he's out of action for a little while, which means I guess we're gonna get more Ricky and Brian Cage Twitter feud. Yeah,
and I guess we'll be holding off on that last match between them for a while.
I don't know how long, but I'm sure it's going to be a minute and a half.
I'm sure. But it'll be cool when he comes back. It'll be a nice little surprise.
Yeah. And then in other news and kind of stress-inducing news, Jake the Snake Roberts is apparently not doing hot. He's obviously been out for a little while, and he's dealing with undisclosed health issues. But apparently he did a recent appearance where he was in a wheelchair and had, probably the oxygen cannulas under his nose, which he took out for pictures, but had in otherwise. So hopefully he's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be devastated otherwise. Best wishes to him and whatever the fuck it is he's dealing with. And we also have a new update on the possibility of Bray Wyatt debuting for AEW this coming week, I think?
Yeah.
Apparently, Bray Wyatt was released on July 31st, was under a 90-day non-compete, but there is reports that he has the option to waive that clause. Which is why it seems like a lot of people kind of believe that he will be debuting this coming week. It's an exciting one for me because I feel like that's very like, the fuck knows? Who knows? Kind of deal. As opposed to like where CM Punk was kind of like, well, Rampage is on. Where's CM Punk?
Yeah. And I think the most exciting thing about that is wondering how he's going to debut, what his gimmick's going to be. Because, I mean, being the incredibly creative dude he is, and he's given no teasers, no Twitter videos about any of this. So we're going in blind with what his gimmick could be.
The only teaser was that he said that the Fiend was still alive, basically.
Okay. I mean, alive in WWE or alive with him?
It seems like he meant alive with him.
I hope so. Last thing I would want is them to pass the Fiend gimmick on to like Riddick Moss or something.
Unless WWE lied about him being released and he's going to show up at Extreme Rules, a swamp match.
Oh God. Now the interesting thing is, if he comes back as a supernatural character, having him and Malachi together, that's gonna be a little weird.
Could be fun.
It could be. I want to know if they're gonna have them feud each other, or if it would be cool if they did like the Firefly Funhouse.
I think, like a lot of people are always like, oh, well, not everyone's going to be able to go to AEW like when they're released. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't know where else he would go. He's one of the few that I'm like, there's been a bunch of people who announced their free agency because their 90 or 30 days were up. I can see them going to like Impact. I can see some of them going over to
And JPW.
Ring of Honor. Yeah. Or just, floating around the indies as a lot of people do now.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Bray, I can't see anywhere else, really.
if there's one talent AEW would absolutely need to grab, it's Bray Wyatt. Because not only would he be a great wrestler, but he'd be a great creative mind backstage. No, I got nothing.
So, last piece of AEW news that I have is that Anthony Ogogo said that he would fight Paul.
Cool.
Yeah. He said, "I'll fight you for free, you shitbag."
Yeah.
Followed that up with, "I'll drop 30 pounds, and even with only one good eye, I'll punch your dopey head in."
I mean, I'll fight him too. I'll probably lose.
I guess
but I'll
it's
fight
safe
him.
to say. I guess it's safe to say that Anthony Ogogo is a low gangster.
So my little piece of news is Adam Cole had a conversation with Wrestling News. And he talked about Shawn Michaels. He said Shawn knew that his Twitch was super important to him, and he knew that's a big no-no in WWE, which he said is unfortunate. But Cole was very open and very honest with him, to the point where when he was thinking about what he was going to do, even when his contract was up, he knew that. Shawn knew that. So I'm very glad to hear that Shawn Michaels was still very supportive of Adam Cole, even on the way out. I mean, I always knew that Shawn Michaels was kind of like a father figure to a lot of people backstage at NXT, especially Adam Cole. So it's just really nice hearing that little tidbit.
That is really nice. See, it's perfect because it was an AEW piece of news, but it was about WWE. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Right, so some quick WWE news. There are some new NXT talent names, and that is Joseph Fatu is now Sifa Fatu.
Cool.
Jennifer Michelle Cantu Iglesias is now Ulisa Leon. Uh, Jessica Wainilko is now Tiffany Stratton. My hair looks like a mess. And then Sanjana, don't know, but I'm gonna say it's Sanjana. Sanjana George is now Vish Kenya.
Good names. Good names.
Yeah, I think they're all pretty appropriate names.
All of them are better than Braun Breaker. And when they all come in, it'll just prove that Braun Breaker is even more of a stupid name. Call him fucking Braun Steiner. Why not?
I don't know.
Or Steinberg.
I don't want to do Braun Steiner.
You don't want to do, if they really don't want to do Steiner, do Steinberg.
Just Stein.
Braunstein. Ooh. That's pretty cool.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, just straight up do
Hear us,
Frankenstein.
WWE. Damn it. Last pieces of WWE news. One is TLC's pay-per-view date has been revealed. The pay-per-view will take place on the 19th of December. The venue and location have yet to be revealed.
Right.
And the final piece of news is Grand Metalik requested his release from the old WWE machine.
Right. Wasn't granted it looks like.
It might still be what they're talking about.
Pending. Which is kind of weird because, I mean, Kalisto left, or was released because, like, Lucha House Party was happy just raking in the bucks while they were wrestling main event matches and doing stereotypical Lucha stuff. So if Grand Metalik requested his release, things might be a little off.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going on. That was not the name I was expecting, but
Yeah.
it doesn't shock me either, because, like, what the fuck is he doing right now?
Yeah.
Sitting and catering.
Right. Miriam also said we just need Samoa Joe back so Braun can do Steiner Math 2.0 promo, and then everyone will know what his lineage really is. I mean, he has been pulling out some Steiner promos like this past week, or this past episode, when he said, "The bitches got the balls." So I feel like Steiner Math will be coming at some point. I can't wait.
What was it that, like, didn't Scott Steiner say something along the lines of, I get hot girls 9 days out of the week? Something?
Maybe. That sounds like a Steiner thing.
It's not the wording, I just know 9 days out of the week is the vibe.
Okay. Alright, so you want to get into our recap?
Yeah, I guess.
The final show before Extreme Rules. Alright. So first we get Becky Lynch coming out. She says, "Were you expecting a Becky party tonight? What a party they threw for Bianca. For making it out of there? I too have made something of myself, and less than a year after having a child, won the title in record time. No one threw me a party. I went out there to shake her hand. Unprovoked, she had to try and assert her dominance and wouldn't let go of my hand. What choice did I have? Real greatness isn't made in the body, it's made in the mind. I didn't want to embarrass her in front of her hometown. As the better man, I wanted to give her time to recalibrate. She goaded me into a rematch." And then Bianca comes out. She says, "First of all, keep my parents' names out of your mouth. You did beat me at SummerSlam and embarrass me in my room, in my hometown." Also, Miriam quoted it, said, "I got freaks 9 days of the week."
Thank you, Miriam. And I gave you the PG version.
It's not going to happen on Sunday. I didn't know I was facing you. Becky says, but you knew you were having a match. You just didn't know it was against the greatest SmackDown Women's Champion of all time. Don't call yourself the EST. Shouldn't that mean you're always ready? Or is that just a nice catchphrase? Bianca says, how many ways do I have to show you? Last week I showed you I was the strongest. I lifted you up easily, even in heels. I'm the fastest because while you were away, you watched me win the Royal Rumble and the main event WrestleMania in a quarter of the time. And I won an ESPY. Becky then yells, I showed the world how to be great. Bianca says, the match on Sunday won't end in 26 seconds. It'll be the EST versus what you call the greatest woman to ever hold the title. The winner is going to be the EST. She offers a handshake, but Becky slaps Bianca. Bianca retaliates and starts beating up on Becky, and then delivers a KOD to Becky. And then we get King Nakamura versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. Okay. I get it. I get it. Roman Reigns is the main event. I get it. Couldn't they have, like, put that at the start of the show? I know that's like why would you start the show with something that great? And again, I'm gonna make these AEW comparisons, even though I hate to. AEW Dynamite Grand Slam started with a 30-minute match between Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega, what some would say is one of the best matches of all time. Some people are putting that in their like top 4 or 5. You can start with a great match to get the people interested, and then end with what should be a title match, or end with a title match, because that's like your big prize. Even if it's the mid-card title, it's still a big prize, so it should be something you put a lot of value on. Right? Am I crazy? I would hope not. That would be really disappointing.
Want me to start?
Yeah.
So before I start,
Oh.
what type of vegetable waits in line?
What?
Cucumber.
Packing it up. Alright. Ah, god damn it. I'm breaking everything. You see what happens? How did that happen? I thought I tightened that. You see what happens?
Thought it was a good joke.
The only joke here is how long this match was.
Oh, I hate when you try to transition me over.
And also how many title match opportunities Apollo Crews has gotten. Anyway. Miriam said I only subscribe for her jokes.
I'm raking them in. Just think of jokes in the middle of the day, and I don't want to say them out loud until I know I can do this in a public format.
Well, maybe reconsider.
Never! And take this joy away from you?
Oh.
I would never do that.
Is that what you call it? Alright. Just talk about the match, I guess.
So, get some kicks to the side of Crews, and a kick to the midsection of Shinsuke. There's a shoulder tackle to Shinsuke, and a back heel to the face of Apollo. Apollo then turns Shinsuke inside out, drops Shinsuke to ringside, like, by drops, I mean, lifts him overhead in a lateral press, and just, donks him. Goat him out of the ring. Get back in the ring. eventually, after a commercial break, as you would expect in the middle of a match. There's some kicks to Apollo, and Enziguri rocks Apollo's shit. And then we get a dropkick to Shinsuke as he goes off the top rope. There's some elbows to Shinsuke and a pump knee off the ropes. Shinsuke wants the Kinshasa, but Cruz kicks him backwards. Hits him with like kind of fucked up Samoan drop, but Mark liked it. I didn't.
I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty good. Especially for one where he went quickly from the front to the ground and behind him. I thought it wasn't the smoothest, but I thought he nailed it.
Oh, gosh, telling jokes takes it all out of me.
Yeah.
We get nearly a powerbomb. Shinsuke, however, gets free from it. He hits Apollo with an enziguri. Wants the Kinshasa again, but Apollo rolls away this time. Shinsuke goes to the apron, kicks Aziz in the head. And Boogs hits Aziz with an exploder suplex ringside. Back in the ring, there's an arm drag to Apollo as part of a counter, and then Shinsuke goes over Apollo's shoulder into an armbar. I don't know. That it doesn't feel like that's how you ended the match. Can you make Apollo tap out?
No.
Doesn't seem right, does it?
No, it was a pin.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a roll up? No.
Yes.
Oh wait, yeah. It was a roll.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was a series of roll ups.
Yeah. All right, I knew what I was talking about. Okay, Shinsuke wins. Retains his title.
Yes, he does. Also, according to Dave Meltzer, Nielsen soon is going to be tracking, in 2022, tracking more forms of streaming, not just TV and Sling. So that might increase some numbers for some wrestling shows. That would do a lot for Impact, given that a way to watch Impact is on YouTube Premium. Do they call it YouTube Red still? Or is it called YouTube
I think it's
Premium?
just YouTube Premium.
Yeah, so we might be seeing a big shift in wrestling ratings, which I don't necessarily care about. I just think it's pretty interesting, especially since we've been measuring all this stuff with just TV for so long. All right. So then we have an interview with Montez Ford. He says, I have a lot of feelings about Sunday. Excitement, anticipation, hunger, but concern. We will become Smackdown Tag Team Champions again. Dawkins was called upon by a dear friend, but he will be back for Extreme Rules. We've beaten the Usos twice now. Roman's not treating them like bloodline or cousins. He's treating them like bloodline bitches. And then we get a promo from Roman Reigns. And he asks Paul, what did he say? Paul says Montez Ford had the chutzpah to call the greatest tag team bloodline bitches. Roman says, I want a match with him tonight. Paul says, in 48 hours, you're defending the title against the undefeated Demon. Roman gives him a look, and he says, Roman Reigns versus Montez Ford tonight in Philadelphia. I will make that happen. Roman says, wise man, why are you still here? And then we get Sonya, Pierce, and Heyman. Heyman says, welcome to Philadelphia. Pierce says, we can't tell you where Brock Lesnar is going to be. Heyman says, stop with Brock Lesnar. I have a main event for you tonight. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, versus the Street Profits, Montez Ford. 1-on-1 tonight, live on SmackDown. Also, why? This is something that's been kind of... This is like a common theme in WWE main roster stuff. Why are you coming... Like in kayfabe, why are you coming up with the main event of your event tonight, of your show, the night of, like an hour or so before? You've had an entire week to to come up with a main event.
The entire time, like, whenever that happens, the entire time I'm just sitting there, I'm like, you went into tonight, no plan.
Yeah, what was the main event going to be? Nikki Ash versus Natalya? Was that your main event?
Are you guys just going to, like, finish that match and say, well, we're going home, boys?
Yeah, we're going to have Naomi's promo, and that's it. Like, come on. You're not fooling anyone. Pierce just says, I think we can do that. Heyman says, I bet you can. And then after the match, we'll talk about the draft. I wonder what he's going to say about the draft. Maybe Heyman will be the one who splits up the Street Profits.
So, where was Dawkins?
Might have just been out.
It was weird that he wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, he might, like, nothing could have happened. This could just be the start to get Tez a singles run, which he deserves. He could kill a singles run.
You don't really need to break up a tag team to give a singles run.
You don't, but what they need to do is do trios or factions on a wider scale so that you can maintain your friendships, your allies, and have singles runs be done. Like Gallus, for example. Joe Coffey can go off and do a singles run while they still maintain their tag team dominance. But now we're seeing Wolfgang wants to do his singles run, so then the Coffey Boys do their tag team run. And that's your same company. I mean, it's right there under your nose. But that's if they acknowledge NXT UK exists. So then we go to Seth, which is a time. He says, I am a patient man. It's been 7 days since I made an ultimatum. I've heard nothing. That's okay. The sound of your silence is deafening. It reveals the truth. The truth is you're hurt bad. You're afraid and ashamed to admit it. I could be the reason you could never compete again. That's mildly amusing to me, but it's not good enough. I want an answer. I don't want to wait anymore. You're going to show up to Smackdown next week, crawl into the ring, look me in the eye, and tell the world the truth that I am not Edge Light and I am a superior to you in every way. I will not be made a liar of. I will find you where you sleep, and I will beat those words out of you in front of your wife and children. Choice is yours. I know you'll make the right one. God, Seth is so good. Seth is killing it.
Let's go a little Samoa Joe on us here.
He is. I hope it's a long time before this Seth changes. Like, I want this Seth to fight everyone.
I want this Seth to go crazier.
Yeah, make him a champion. Make him go ego mad.
Instead of I can fix him, I want to make him worse.
I wonder if they'll put Austin Theory with him again. Give him another disciple. Alright, so then we have Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega. This match was terrible.
It was about 2 minutes. Actually, let's dial that back for a second. The dropkick that started this match was a bit much. It was, there was a lot behind it.
That was clean, Liv.
Yes. And there's double knees to the back of the head of Zelina. The chin lock of sorts on Liv, except it's like Zelina's arm is like this against her. Carmela is also out here sitting in front of Pat, unfortunately. Pat very much looks like he can't see a goddamn thing that's happening. I know they have monitors, but still.
Mm-hmm.
And the annoying part was that we kept cutting back to Carmela, and then we get back to the ring like halfway through a move happening, and I was like...
Yeah, like they were so focused on Carmela during the match, barely saw anything that happened.
Yeah. So Liv drove Zelina into the corner multiple times. Um, Zelina slams Liv's head into the buckles. There's a backstabber that springs Zelina into the buckles. And Carmela starts yelling at Liv under the guise of, like, this is how Liv almost broke Carmela's nose last week or whatever. I don't know. Liv goes to drop kick Carmela, instead grabs her by the hair, only to be kicked by Zelina in the head. And then there's a code red to Liv for Zelina to win.
Her first match, her first win this year. She has had 10 matches, and this is her first win. Oh my god. Alright, so... then we had a little vignette of a Corbin shopping trip. And then we have... Okay, is it happy talk, or is it happy time? Commentary called it happy talk, but Corbin called it happy time.
It was happy talk. I think that's what the sign said.
Okay, because happy talk started, and then Corbin gets in the ring and says, "Welcome to happy time." Like, come on, get your shit straight, guys. He says, "Being right here in Philly makes me happy. Life is so good. I feel like whistling a little tune," and he does, and it's bad.
You should never whistle into a microphone.
Says this talk show is nothing like other talk shows. This one is about happiness, putting smiles on people's faces. I had to think long and hard about my first guest, someone who would light up a room, and my first guest is me. Why would it not be? I'm the happiest person in the entire world. Last night at dinner, they brought out a full tasting menu. There is another thing that brings me happiness, though. And then the video plays of Corbin beating up Kevin Owens from last week. And then Corbin says, "Kevin Owens is a former Universal Champion, and I did that with ease. It is amazing. It brings me joy to be that powerful. There's another thing." Kevin Owens comes out. But on his way to the ring, Riddick Moss attacks Kevin Owens out of nowhere. And Riddick Moss has been out since Raw Underground folded. And then they both give a double choke slam to KO onto the steps. And then we get an interview with Montez Ford. He says, "The truth shall set you free. My big mouth has put me into a land of opportunity. I'm going to do what I do best in the ring, be Montez Ford. The Street Profits are up, and tonight, I want the smoke." God, I cannot wait for Tez to do singles shit. It's going to be so good. He's going to kill it. Because he can do serious. Like, he can switch like that. But on the flip side, a not so great singles match, Nikki Ash versus Natalya.
It's like, the thing is, like, I can never tell how little of a pop Nikki gets until they have Rhea come out. And I'm like, oh, that's what it should sound like. Gotcha.
Yeah. People are fucking tired of the happy-go-lucky. They're tired of it. Like that, in all forms of media, we are past happy-go-lucky. Somebody like Nikki does not have a good presentation. Nobody's gonna react well to it. I mean, people will, because obviously she's got some fans, and a significant number at that. But like, compared to someone like Rhea, it's not even close. And what sucks the most is in this match, in the ring area, there were 4 incredible talents, and you didn't see any of it. Rhea Ripley, Nikki Cross, Natalya, and Tamina are all incredibly talented, and didn't get a whiff of that today at all.
I know it. Uh, drop kick to the knee of Natalya that does not look very good. To be honest, not that I can do better, but still. There's a boot to the midsection of Nikki before Natalya slams her backwards into one and then into one buckle after the other. She stomps Nikki in the corner, hits her with a snap suplex. Nikki wants the tornado DDT, but Tamina distracts. Rhea then interferes by grabbing Tamina's leg, and Nikki rolls Natty up to win.
Yep. And then we go to the Mysterios backstage in the locker room. Dominic tells Ray while they're going over the tape from last week. Dom says, "You're suffocating me. You nitpick and nitpick. If you weren't ringside, I would have beaten Sammy." Ray says, worst response you could have ever said. "I'm going to give you space because you're not thinking straight." Ray's a shitty dad. In kayfabe, Ray is a shitty dad.
But it's a very, like, fatherly thing, or parental thing to say, where it's like, you don't understand my point of view, therefore you're not thinking straight.
It's not a good thing that it's commonplace. But then Sammy comes in, and he's playing a good father figure. He says, "I know your confidence is shaky. I beat the very best, so there's nothing to be ashamed of. Every time we were in the ring together, you get better and better. If you want one piece of advice, your dad means well, but I would start listening to him less and trust your instincts more." Like, that's not even that wasn't a heel thing to say, unless, of course, like, he's most likely trying to sow seeds of discontent between Ray and Dom, but, like, that's helping Dom.
Everything that Sammy said, I was like, did we make a face turn when I wasn't looking? Like, this makes sense.
Yeah. So then we have Naomi coming out to the ring. And she says, "I came to SmackDown to compete. I have been fined, disrespected, insulted, and ignored. I want a match. I'm not talking about tomorrow, next week, right now. Come on. Which lady back there wants to feel this glow?" And then you hear Sonya say, No, stop. It's not happening. I make the matches, not you." So then Naomi says, "How about you just do that then? Make a match between me and you." Sonya says, "Everyone knows I'd smack the glow off your face, but I'm no longer a competitor. I'm now an official. I make matches." Naomi's like, "Then do your fucking job, because you're not good at it." And then she starts chanting, "Make the match, make the match." The crowd starts going too. Sonya tells her tells the audio guy to cut her audio. You can still hear her chanting, and the crowd's still going too. She says to get out security. "I was trying to help you. After your entrance is over, it's all downhill from there. You constantly drop the ball. Go back there and TikTok dance your way to obscurity while I make the future of SmackDown." With that TikTok comment, she got real for a second. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get this feud.
I get it. It's an authority thing.
But, like, it's so weird that, like, Sonya has, like, this very distinct and volatile problem with Naomi.
Yeah.
It's very weird to me.
I mean, she kind of gave a explanation, like a little bit of one, when she said, "After your entrance is over, it's all downhill from there. You constantly drop the ball."
Again, this feels like a Goldberg promo where it's like, what are you talking about?
Right. There isn't any evidence of that. But at least there's something. I think it's at least a nice change of pace from what we normally get. Like, it's different. And I am sure this will lead to Naomi First of all, a Naomi versus Sonya match, which would be fantastic. And then a huge push for Naomi into the title scene. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point if she's not moved to Raw. Is the thing. So, although it's a little bit weird with some of the stuff, I think there's a lot to look forward to. And plus, Naomi's still cutting great promos while doing this, so. And then we get Paul and Roman and the Usos. Usos are hyping up Roman. And as Roman and Paul walk away, the Usos are confronted by Chad Gable and Otis. Why would they have this? They are, like, skipping the fact that we have the Usos and the Street Profits this Sunday, and you're already lining up the Usos' next challenger? Like, come on! Come on! Why would you do this? Wait until after. Or like, you could have saved this promo for Sunday. You could keep the footage. Have the Usos win. Then as Roman goes out for his match against Finn, have this footage. You can use this same footage and just air it on Sunday. Then that night, you have their next challenger already lined up. You're not using this on Friday before their title match happens. Like, why would you do this? It makes no sense.
No.
But you know what?
I wish I knew.
At least they're not doing like the Street Profits get like 5 title shots in a row, you know? They're moving quick. And who knows who's after Alpha Academy. Could be like fucking Shinsuke and Boogs or something. So then we get a promo from Becky. She says, "You keep pushing me and pushing me. She's the strongest, but she's also the dumbest. I've been in the game since Mania 35. You think I'm scared of someone I can beat in 26 seconds? This time, I'm going to make you suffer. At Extreme Rules, I'm not just going to beat you, I'm going to break you." Okay. You might not be the most believable heel in the biz, but she has come up with some great, like, dialogue out of this. Whether it's her or the writers, she's been having some great lines. So then we get Montez Ford versus Roman Reigns in our main event.
Yeah, and I was looking at my notes and I was like, man, I really didn't take that many notes on this match. And then I remembered that there were like 14 commercial breaks, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. But still, great match. Really great match.
Absolutely. I just wish that they gotten their commercial break jimmies out when they had. There was no reason to start this match at 9:30.
Yeah. They got to do the picture-in-picture stuff on SmackDown. Like,
and because like the thing is like when they started at 9:30, I was like, there's no way in hell that this match is actually lasting 30 minutes. I know that for a fact. If it does, that's awesome.
I mean, it technically
kind of the back of my head, I was like, if this goes for a solid 30 minutes, that's going to be an insane fucking match, and I know that for a fact. Also, it's like a network show. I was like, I don't see that happening. I haven't had that since like AJ and Daniel Bryan lasted like 45 minutes or something. That was a while ago now.
Yeah.
That was a minute. It's just like, I don't know. I know better than that. Why are we doing this?
But I mean,
Anyway.
still, it was still a long ass match. It was great. It got the time it deserved.
It's tiring having 41 different commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a headlock on Roman, and then a dropkick to Roman, and the second one, Roman kind of pieces out of the ring for a little bit. Ends up choking Tez out against the ropes. He then gets back in, bonks Montez into the top turnbuckle, then sort of like mounts him in the corner and starts raining blows down on his head before clotheslining the poor dude. Roman hits Montez with some short arm clotheslines in the corner. There's a boot to the face, though, of Roman, and then some chops. There's a jumping knee to the head of Roman, and then Montez steps on the table. And the table says, sayonara, and fucking collapses. And Montez just stands there like...
He sold it so well. He did. It's so funny.
He just went like... Okay.
He was like, why would you do this? And then Pat McAfee said, my fat ass probably broke it when I was dancing on it.
Fucking Michael Cole said it was probably that.
Oh, this is... It was like, yes, it's like a fuck up, but they made it work. And they made it hilarious.
I honestly don't think it would have been quite as funny if it were not for the fact that fucking Pat was there.
Yeah.
I think Pat made it funnier.
If this happened on Raw, it would have fallen flat. Plus, I mean, Tez just standing there staring at it was perfect.
If it happened on Raw, Corey would have like harped on the problem, blamed Byron for it multiple times until all of us felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then like would not have let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. Even on NXT, it wouldn't have worked.
It might have been okay on NXT, I mean, at least.
We've seen it on NXT, and it wasn't great.
Montez then steps on... that's already happened. I've already discussed this. We've laughed about it.
Mm-hmm.
He then punches Roman after jumping off the stairs as like a second option, I guess, plan B. Back in the ring, though, Roman picks up Montez, tosses him up in the air, and just drops him on the fucking ground. Slip and fall. There's a frog splash then on Roman and a kick to the midsection. Roman gets hit with a cutter. Ford gets hit with a Uranagi. The Superman punch gets loaded up, and it fails. Montez gets Reigns with a DDT. Doesn't really matter because Roman sends a right hand to the jaw of Montez that just rocks his shit, sends him backwards. Roman is then driven into the corner, kicked in the face by an apron-bound Tez. Montez then sends Reigns into the steps, hits him with a frog splash right into Roman's knees. And right into the guillotine. And with his last breath, Montez Ford taps the fuck out. Which was actually kind of sweet, because like, you tapped out, and then he just kind of had his hand resting on Roman's side, like they were hugging, and I was like, buddies. Friends.
Yeah. Yeah, and as soon as he hit that the guillotine, you knew it was over. You know the exact type of person that's breaking out of that. Has anyone broken out of it yet?
Cesaro did.
Did he? Oh, he
did, and then he was thrown right back into it, basically.
Yeah, and then he passed out.
Yeah.
It's gonna take someone special to break out of that, and I can't wait. So then Heyman tells Roman to make an example out of Montez for Finn and anyone else who wants to challenge Roman. The Usos then come out. Roman beats Montez with a chair. The Usos set up a table. And then Roman gives a Uranagi through the table. But then the lights go out. The Demon's music plays. And Finn is seen standing on top of the turn post. The corner post, whatever. And he starts beating down the bloodline, beats them all down, and stands tall, which is not the best go-home math for Finn. However, he did not touch the title. So, not the worst. Not the worst. Alright, so that is our recap of the episode. Stick around for the best of the night. And our predictions will be right after that, and we'll be answering your guys' questions right after that. All right.
Do you want to do the rankings real quick while I get up and grab something?
Yeah, I'll do the rankings. All right, so let me give a little weekly update of the top 10 wrestlers in professional wrestling, not just in WWE, in all of professional wrestling. You're really taking your time with this, aren't you?
Try not to knock anything over.
So as of right now, the top 10 is from NXT. One half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Wes Lee. Number 9, the other half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Nash Carter. Number 8, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Riddle. Number 7, one half of the Impact Tag Team Champions, Doc Gallows. Number 6, formerly the Impact X Division Champion, now the challenger for the Impact World's Championship, Josh Alexander. Number 5, he's the TNT Champion, God's favorite champion, Miro. Number 4, the United States Champion, Damian Priest. Number 3, the only person on this list without a championship, Darby Allin. Although Sting you can consider a championship. Or his love is a championship.
A real trophy.
Yeah. Number 2, the Tribal Chief and the Universal Champion, coming in real close to Kenny right now. Roman Reigns. And number 1, I already said his name. He is the AAA Mega Champion. The AEW World Champion, and he is Kenny by God Omega. He's never losing that spot. Never.
Also, if there's any new people watching this, I just want everyone to remember that this is based on numbers and not based on personal opinion.
Yeah.
If it were based on personal opinion, there's several people that would not be on that fucking list.
It's essentially, if you're familiar with competitive video games, is basically an ELO rankings where some matches weigh more than others, and you basically get points for wins, lose points for losses, that kind of stuff. So yeah. All right, so bests of the night. Best of the night. Let's talk about promo of the night. I'm a little torn on this one. A little torn. Do you?
By Natalie and Rubio?
Huh?
Nothing.
Do you want to say what your pick is before I say mine?
I think I know what mine is.
Okay.
I would say that the first promo with Montez Ford.
Montez's first promo. Okay, so his first interview where he called the Usos bloodline bitches.
Yeah. Yep, that one.
It's interesting. You're picking that over Seth? Or Becky?
Yeah, because Becky's annoying me. Seth does this every week, and, it's not bad. It's not getting worse. But it's every week. Montez doesn't do this every week.
Okay. I'll go with you. You make good points.
No, I do.
Alright, so let's talk about Wrestler of the Night now, and I know exactly who I'm gonna pick. I assume you do too. Yeah, no, it's the cat.
Oh.
Yeah.
It'd win her match tonight.
Yeah. So my pick is Montez Ford.
Yeah, okay. I think that's fair.
Alright, let's talk about match of the night. Like always, we'll go from the worst to the best in my rankings. And then Liz will say if she agrees or not. So let's start with the worst match of the day and the first match. The first non-Raw match to make it 2 out of 10. the first 2 out of 10 match not from Raw. And that is Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega. This match was extremely short. You should never have someone who is going into a pay-per-view match lose, especially to someone who has not gotten a single win this year, regardless of whether it's to a distraction or not. And the match was never focused on the match itself. It was focused on Carmela, who was just laying on the announce desk. So it was terrible. Next up, with a 3 out of 10, Nikki Ash versus Natalya. This was bad, extremely short, didn't get any really good wrestling at all. At least, like, Liv and Zelina would have been a 1 out of 10 if we didn't get that great drop kick in the beginning. And that, what was that move? Wasn't a Mexican destroyer or a Canadian destroyer from Zelina.
Code Red.
Code Red. That was pretty cool. But yeah, Nikki and Natty was not good. It was pretty bad. So next up, we're skipping all the way to 6 out of 10 for King Nakamura versus Apollo Crews. This could have been a fantastic match if it had been longer. I just found this out. I found this out like the other day, but this week's Raw had 0 interviews. Not a single interview in the entire show. So you can get rid of all of your interviews and still keep a good program. They could have gotten rid of their interviews today. You know, the useless ones, like Becky didn't need a second promo. She didn't. We didn't need that segment with the Usos and the Alpha Academy. Give the time to the matches. That's where your storytelling happens, or should happen. But regardless, it was still fun. Because these two guys are incredible talents. And then finally, with an 8 out of 10, Montez Ford versus Roman Reigns. They killed it. They killed it. Even with the table bust, it was still great. It was still great. So, that's my pick for match of the night. I'm just going to assume you agree.
Unassuming does.
You're right. You picked Liv and Zelina, right?
Got me. I agree with you.
Cool.
A psychopath.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking back at my highest ranked matches from this week. And then I was reminded of Gallus versus Pretty Deadly last week. That was a damn good match. You should watch that match. That was fantastic.
Watch that match with you.
Oh, I thought you were asleep for it. I think you were.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were.
I'm so sleepy nowadays. Like, I wouldn't be shocked, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Also, I gotta watch NXT UK from this week, because apparently, I mean, A-Kid's wrestling, so you know it's gonna be really good. Alright, so let's get into our predictions. We're gonna do it from the bottom of the card to the top. So are you ready to make your predictions? I've already got mine down. Alright. Real quick, let me just explain the predictions to everyone. We make a prediction on the winner of the matches. Every match. And for every incorrect prediction we make, we have to finish 1 can of hard seltzer or beer before the show is before the podcast is over. And whoever has the most correct predictions will be crowned the Pinfall Podcast Prediction Champion. Right now, I am the champion, right? I'm the champion from SummerSlam.
Yes.
Oh, because we had like the exact same, right? Or no, was it Takeover 36 or was it SummerSlam that was the last one?
Won both of them. Leave me alone.
I'm just trying to remember which one was the last one. I think it was
I'm trying to
Takeover.
remember.
Anyway, so whoever comes out of Sunday as the champion, they get to dole out a punishment to the loser. And that punishment can be anything. Alright, so let's start with the predictions. Starting off, Liv Morgan versus Carmela. The only non-title match in this card.
I am going with Morgan.
I am too.
And we will tell you what Pepita is doing after we film that tonight.
Oh, we're doing that tonight. I thought we were doing it tomorrow.
We are. No, we're doing it tonight, baby.
We forgot to do Pepita Predicts.
We didn't forget to do. We are holding off for surprise purposes.
No, well, let's be transparent. Let's be transparent with our audience.
I want to be very opaque right now.
Okay. What's translucent? Is that?
Translucent is transparent.
Oh, okay. All right. So next up, for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the Usos versus the Street Profits. I think it's very clear after tonight.
I mean, I'm going with the Usos.
I am too. All right. So next up, for the United States Championship, Damian Priest versus Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. And for this one, we are going to pick who eats the pin as well. So.
I'm choosing Damian to win, Sheamus to take the pin.
Okay. I'm picking Damian to win and Jeff Hardy to eat the pin. But Sheamus is a good choice also.
I feel like that way Damian can shut him up.
Yeah, fair.
And then people won't be as angry about Party eating the pin.
The only thing, my reasoning is that Jeff Hardy's already lost a title match against Damian, so he's already below them in terms of the card. So he is the least to lose right now.
That's true.
So next up is for the Raw Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss. This one, I think, is the most up in the air on the entire card.
I was going to say, weirdly enough, I feel like this is the one that I'm like...
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I already made my prediction, but like... I don't know. Huh? Did you make yours?
Prediction. I haven't yet.
Well, I'm not telling you until you tell me yours. I don't want to give you any influence. You gotta just pick.
You know what? I'm gonna be messy. I'm gonna be messy. Am I gonna be messy? I don't know if I've got the balls to be messy.
What's the plan?
The thing is that my punishments are usually pretty mild. Yours are always going to embarrass me in some capacity on screen, and I hate that. So I want to avoid that at all possible costs.
You're saying guess who was embarrassing?
Okay, guess who was actually quite enjoyable, and I had a nice time doing that punishment.
Yeah.
And even reading Finn Balor fanfiction was not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly.
Name one punishment that I made you do that was embarrassing.
When I had to At first, when you wanted me to do an accent for the entire show.
But I didn't follow through with that.
No, but you gave me shit for it. You gave me shit.
Because you were a coward. Anyway.
Happy with me. Happy with me.
So pick a winner. Pick a winner.
You know what? No, I'm not picking anybody. This is a protest. I don't know. I'll pick Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Raw doesn't seem to care about their champions.
I'm picking Alexa Bliss too. Also, Miriam said the Finn Balor fanfic was the first episode of your podcast I ever watched, so you can imagine how wild that was for me.
Miriam still said, I'll be friends with Liz.
Damn.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been.
My only doubts with picking Alexa Bliss is Survivor Series. They could potentially have Charlotte versus Becky. And that WWE is always dying to do that.
True. However, the only thing that stopped me on that is that WWE has been very anti-heel versus heel. This would put the title in the hands of somebody that's not, I guess, not a heel.
Right. Okay. Good point.
And I thought I was making a messy choice.
So we're still agreed on that one. Now up next we have for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. What are you saying? What are you thinking?
I'm saying Becky.
I'm saying Becky too. I don't think Extreme Rules is the time for Bianca. I think time for Bianca will probably be Royal Rumble. I think that's when she's going to get the title back. Actually, no, maybe sooner. Maybe TLC, and then Bayley can come back to feud with Becky. Around, oh no, to feud with Bianca. And then Becky can...
I'm sorry, back that up. Bayley coming back at TLC?
No, at Royal Rumble.
Oh.
Is it too soon?
I think that might be too soon. I think that might be, yeah.
Okay.
Fortunately. I thought you said TLC and I was like, I don't know about that. Wild.
When did Bayley get her injury? It was it wasn't for SummerSlam.
Was it July?
That. What was the pay-per-view in July? Hell in a Cell? Because June was... No, Hell in a Cell was August.
Bayley addressed her injury on July 9th.
July 9th.
Ow!
So... What was her injury? It was an ACL tear?
ACL.
So we'll say
9 months to heal.
9 months. July. Okay, so April. WrestleMania. I won't see Bayley till WrestleMania. That's gonna suck.
Why not? It feels like it was like yesterday.
Yeah.
It moves a little too fast sometimes, you know?
Alright, so finally, for the Universal Championship in an Extreme Rules match, Roman Reigns versus the Demon Finn Balor. What are you picking?
Turtle, I'm so sorry. I've gotta pick Roman. I'm not out of my mind.
Well, you know what? I guess I'm out of my mind, and I'm not sorry, because I'm going all in on Finn Balor. I think he is the guy. I think he is the guy to take the title off of Roman. That way they can do Brock versus Roman and not have the title on the line.
You know what? I'm gonna use Drew McIntyre logic on this one. If Finn loses, I'm drinking. If Finn wins, I'm drinking. So
fair.
Easy enough.
And
all right, well,
I also think that WWE this time around, they are turning a new leaf, and it seems like they actually care about Finn and the Demon. So they might protect him on this one. So he might either win or he will lose but lose in a way to where the Demon can still technically be undefeated. Yeah.
We might need a tiebreaker.
Well, you're right.
We have two differing opinions.
Okay, so the tiebreaker is no more Money in the Bank contracts active. Do you want to do a pre-show prediction? Whether it'll be one that's on the card already, or if it'll be something new, and if we pick something new, like what would it be?
I mean,
Oh, how about
I would say yes to that, but that seems very open-ended.
How about we make a prediction on whether or not there will be a DQ win at any point in this?
We can either do that, or we can make a bet on whether another stipulation will be added overnight.
No, because then we would win like tomorrow, and I don't know.
Well, not necessarily, because you might get Finn and Party.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I'll let you choose the tiebreaker. You're better at that than I am.
Could do the DQ one. The lack of...
It would be so fucked up if somebody gets a DQ, like using something during Extreme Rules. I'm gonna fucking cry if that happens.
It would be like Charlotte that would happen to. The lack of Biggie on the card is making me nervous. Like first of all, why is he not on the card? Him or Bobby Lashley, like why are they not doing anything in this pay-per-view?
It's Archer in theory has a tramp stamp.
Nice. Good for him.
He's got a tattoo in the tramp stamp area.
How about will Big E appear at Extreme Rules? Not a video of Big E. Will he be at the venue?
Depends on what you're gonna say, because I know what I'm gonna say.
What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say yes. I don't think they're gonna pass up having their WWE champion at Extreme Rules, especially their biggest babyface. All right, so
physical appearance, not a video. Physical appearance.
Physical appearance. He will be at the venue. No
it's
recap.
a video of him in the backstage area.
That's also fine. If it is new footage of him at the venue, whether it's backstage or in the ring.
Oh, well, now that I understand it, I don't agree.
You don't?
No, because in my head I thought, no, he's not going to be in the ring area. Like, he's not going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, it would just be like a video promo of like him teasing something for SummerSlam. Yep, Survivor Series.
Fine. I'm saying he will appear in the ring because I just had an idea.
Oh dear.
They made this Universal Championship match Extreme Rules for a reason. They made it first, so they made it for a reason. I think the New Day will come out and help Finn win.
Okay.
They are planning to get away from the DQ by having it be Extreme Rules.
Okay.
Or the Usos will come out and help, but I mean, that's lame.
It is, but it's also WWE.
Yeah.
Brand has a plan, buddy.
All right. So, those are our predictions. Tune in on Sunday for our Extreme Rules post show. But don't forget to tune in tomorrow. For our Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. on WWE 2K20, our Battle of the Brands. We've got a 9-match card all set. Our 8-man tag cross-brand match featuring some of the best stars in the world. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be drinking some beer, sitting back, enjoying the show. You should too. I'd love to chat with you. What time should we do that? What time is that happening?
I'm trying to bake a cake tomorrow, but I can do any, midday. Midday works best. Or not midday, but like maybe late afternoon.
Kind of like
Late afternoon
4 or
works well.
5? Do 4?
Yeah.
So 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow on twitch.tv/A Pinfall Podcast. If you want to catch up on our Battle of the Brands, go to our YouTube, the Pinfall Podcast. Yesterday's episode has now been uploaded, so you can watch the go home shows there. But don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the Hell in a Cell action. All right, Liz, why don't you close out the show? Oh wait, no, never mind. We have questions. We got questions to answer. I forgot. How could I forget about the questions?
I don't know.
If you have a question, please leave it in the chat so we can get to it. I'm trying to pull up YouTube right now to see if we have any questions there. So Milam asked on YouTube on the is this the last Raw post show? Yeah, the last Raw post show. Do you guys like Riddle's stream of consciousness rambling?
No, I don't like Riddle. The whole.
So, judging purely the writing and the gimmick, I think it is so much better than where his character was. His character, like a few months ago, before he met Randy, was garbage. Or I wouldn't say garbage. That's a bit too much. It wasn't good. It was not good at all. I think this is a lot better, and it works so well with Randy's character. Somebody who doesn't want to listen to him, while Riddle is somebody who doesn't want to stop talking. So I like it in terms of character and storyline.
It's hard for me to. He's one of those people where, because I know he's kind of a piece of shit, it's hard for me to enjoy the fact that he's like. I would love to sit back and be like, this guy's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I can't look past it. And maybe I should be able to, maybe I should be able to separate the art from the artist.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't. Sucks.
Yeah.
Also, what he did sucks, so not quite my fault. Allegedly.
We especially need to throw in the allegedly now. Because the case got dropped for whatever reason. So, allegedly. Alright, Miriam in chat asked, if you guys were a tag team, what team would you want to have a lights out match against? So you and I are a tag team.
Okay.
So should we make it intergender tag teams? Or should we just make it any tag team?
I think it doesn't matter.
What if it's you and me against Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford? That'd be great. That would be so good.
That would be spicy. I wouldn't mind that. I honestly kind of thought that Kip Sabian was going to come back at Grand Slam.
I did too.
There was a part of me that was like, maybe.
Yeah. At Rampage, it would have been perfect. Did that match air on Rampage today?
Which one? Penelope?
Anna Jay and Penelope Ford? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not spoiling anything.
It really... you would not... Maybe if you were listening to it, but I'm not. I couldn't tell that there was a cut between.
Okay.
I don't know. I think... How do you think we would fare against Suzuki Gun?
Oh, not well at all. Not well at all. Not well. I mean, they only lost to Mox and Eddie because Homicide was there. Was that a spoiler? Did that not air yet? I thought they were doing all 2 hours tonight. Shit.
Yeah, it hasn't been 2 hours, Mark.
Has it?
Oh, there's still
3 minutes.
3 minutes left in the 2 hours.
Oh. Well, I didn't sign an NDA.
We're so sorry if you were watching us and you were like, fuck!
I
we will be...
apologize. I'm not watching. How am I supposed to know? There's 3 minutes left.
Totally, that's totally fair. There's no way for you to not have known. But, I mean, maybe as much as they aren't my favorite, there is Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green.
You see, you say they're not your favorite, but they're my favorite.
Yeah, I could fight Matt Cardona, and that's honestly where my life goals are at right now.
What about Adam Cole and Britt Baker? I think Cole and I could trade super kicks.
No, I'm still fighting Adam Cole.
Fine, I think Britt and I can trade super kicks.
Britt's gonna throw you into the lockjaw.
Yeah, and why would I fucking tap with a hand in my mouth? Why would that make me tap? Not a bitch.
That would make me tap. I'd gag.
She wears a glove. It's fine.
Ugh, it's extra shit in your mouth.
Let's see. There's also Chris Statlander and Chuck Taylor, or Chris and Orange. Chris and Orange would probably be better.
See if I can add in before my laptop dies. Chris and Orange could work. Okay, spoilers are over now.
Okay.
Homicide has entered the ring.
Oh, good. My computer. Okay, my computer froze for a second. That was very weird.
It's probably got something to do with me.
Oh, weird. I would have freeze my whole computer.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if we had to pick one tag team.
Tag team?
Yeah,
oh man, I don't know. What would you pick off the top of your head right now? Just who would you pick?
I would pick Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
I think I would pick Adam Cole and Britt Baker too.
Okay.
Mainly because Adam Cole's got that fucking smile on his face, and I just a little spite left in me, man. An ankle biter.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed by the Lights Out match at Grand Slam.
Were you? I was not at all, and maybe that's just because I love 90% of the people, and I loved basically everybody in the match, so maybe that's why.
I think it was.
But I was thrilled by it.
It was, in my opinion, a bit too short, and I'm also comparing it to the Lights Out match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. So
I think, yeah, I guess that's fair. I think he definitely deserved more time, but there was so much that they were trying to do, you know?
Yeah. And the Homicide appearance is cool.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome because we had just seen Homicide.
Yeah. Saw him at 2 shows now. He's the only person that we've seen at 2 shows.
It's very weird. Of all the people to have gotten that accolade.
Yeah.
Congrats, Homicide. It's you.
All right. So
Our constant.
You want to close out the show?
Yeah, if you tuned in today and you don't fucking hate us at this point.
Sorry for spoiling.
That's not even what I was talking about. I just meant every flub that happened in the first 5 to 10 minutes. But yeah, if you're still watching, thank you. If you're still subscribed or following us, whatever it's the free one, I don't know. Thank you. And if you're still subscribed, thanks.
Please subscribe to us too.
You think that we're young, fun, and sexy.
Support us.
Someone's gotta. Please tune in tomorrow for the WWE 2K20
Hell in a Cell.
Yak. Hopefully I do slightly better than I did last night. Let's not talk about it. And then if you did enjoy us tonight, we're actually gonna be even more fun on Sunday. So I suggest you tune in for that too. Yeah, a good time. I'm gonna be there. Mark's gonna be there. Mark might be drinking a beer. I'm gonna be drinking hard seltzer. I don't drink beer very often.
Yeah.
Little tummy doesn't like it.
We have a huge pack of Budweiser, so we got to go through it.
I'm gonna be making a cake this weekend too.
You finish?
Yeah, well then.
Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. Follow, subscribe. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. You can see all of our previous episodes there, including the WWE 2K20 Battle of the Brands and Pepita Predicts. That's only on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the live show. Talk to us. We love to chat with you and answer your questions and discuss wrestling. That's twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast. That's where you can find our 2K stream tomorrow and where you can find our Extreme Rules post show on Sunday. So, our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine 23. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for Hell in a Cell and 2K20, and then Sunday for Extreme Rules. Have a great night, everyone.